Okay, everybody, I think it's time we continue with the last workshop of the day. So, the last time we were to Sofia, where we met Desi, then we are on a break, and now we go back to Drobeta, Turnu, Severin, the place where I live. I invite you to learn how to check facts like a pro, and you will see by the end of this workshop how and why it is important to know how to check facts. But first of all, who am I? My name is Nadina Nikolic. I'm a teacher of English as a foreign language, and I have 20 plus years of experience, and I'm very happy that I have these years of experience in the same school, Lorin Sălăgean Technical High School, in my hometown. In my school, I'm the coordinator of the board for projects and partnerships, and so far, together with schools not only from Europe, but also from around the world, I managed to coordinate and involve my students and also my colleagues in more than 175 international projects. As a matter of fact, I started my career in media. More than 20 years ago, I used to work in a radio station. And there are two things that I love. I love technology, and I have a very special relationship with technology because I love it, and many times it hates me. And my second love is the love for truth. By the means of media literacy, I somehow managed to combine them and to have them with me all the time. What are we going to do in the next minutes? We'll learn what to believe and also what to not believe, what to check, and very important, how to check and where to check, because we don't have to believe everything we see on TV or wherever we are. But first of all, let's take a poll. So I will launch the poll for the people in the room. I launch it now, and please choose the right version for you, and in the meantime I will discuss to the people in the room to see how they feel about it. So please vote on the poll. No sound because I was talking to the people in the room, and I have the results here. I will share them with you immediately, but this is my last call to vote. So the last call for voting. So far there are 19 people who voted out of 47, so please, the last call for voting. It's your time to do it now. Good. Let's share the results and let's see what is happening. So, how do people behave related to checking things? When Maria from online asked me for the sound, I was actually speaking to my colleagues here, and I can tell you that from what I found out from them and from what I see on the screen now, the things are about the same. As a matter of fact, I have to admit that I expected and anticipated these results. As you can see, 89% of you believed something that you saw online and you later found out that was false. It also happened to me, and now I'm very careful if I have to believe it or not. As for the second one, sharing, I also have to admit that there was once or twice when I shared something, then I found out it was fake, and that's it. I made a mistake and I apologize for it, and I paid more attention later on. As for how confident do you feel, as you can see, most of you, 53% of you are somehow in the middle. Thank you everybody for taking part in this poll. And now it's time to continue, and I am here. I hope I'm here. Okay. I told you about the special relationship I have with technology. I love it, it hates me, and things like this happen. Why are we here today? Why do we take part in this event, part of the Communitize project? First of all, because you also learned today, during the previous workshops, you learned about the Media Literacy Index. And if you have a look at the color, and if you have a look at the map of Europe, according to the Media Literacy Index published last year, Romania is on that color, which should be orange. It's in cluster 4, which means it's got only 34 points, and it ranks 28 out of 32. So what happens in Romania is not so good, so we try to improve it. What does it mean? First of all, the fact that Romanians have low potential to deal with the effects of fake news and disinformation. And I am sure that you noticed it during the latest times related to the pandemic of COVID-19, but also related to the war in Ukraine. As for the COVID pandemic, I can tell you that according to the latest data, published in November last year, only 42% of Romanians got vaccinated against COVID. And this means that if you look at the data provided by the European Commission, Romania is the second least vaccinated country in Europe. Because maybe you know all those fake news and conspiracy theories and everything that went viral online, and people simply believed and shared without checking. But I have a special guest today. I had many guests yesterday, and I have another one. This man, his name is John Miller. He's 58. He's from Butte, Montana, and I'm so glad that I had the chance of visiting Butte, Montana in 2016 when I was there. He's married and he's got 2 children. He's a doctor, and during the COVID pandemic, because in the United States things were about the same, he managed to convince 2 million people to get vaccinated. So he is considered a hero. And I have a question for you. I invite you people in the audience here face to face with me, we shall discuss, or people who are online, please write in the chat box or unmute yourselves and share your ideas. How do you think this man, that doctor, John Miller is his name, how do you think he managed to convince 2 million people to get vaccinated? So who is brave enough to start sharing? So what people here with me say, by providing those people who maybe were against vaccines with scientific evidence, the power of the example, what else? Medical proofs. Okay, and let's see what people share He paid them, Juliana says, by his own example shared on social media, offering scientific proofs. Very good. This idea, we also had it in the room, and Lorena, one of my colleagues, said that by being a positive example for the community. Maria says he presented the advantages or disadvantages of the vaccine and brought forward irrefutable proofs. He brought arguments. Thank you very much. You have great ideas, all of you. The truth is, John Miller, 58 Butte, Montana, does not exist. This person does not exist. I invented a story, and you may wonder how I managed to trick you. Because you are so good people, both people online and my colleagues here, I'll share with you my trick. There is a platform, a random face generator, thispersondoesnotexist.com, and they use the artificial intelligence and they generate fake person photos. They generate everything. For instance, you can have the face of a woman, of a child, of a man, of different races, of different colors of skin, of everything. As a matter of fact, all these three people that you can see here right now, I took their pictures from random face generator, and these people do not exist. I know you are shocked. What's very important is how to recognize them. As a matter of fact, there was a study years ago, and they involved ordinary people, but also specialized photographers. And according to the results of this survey, 90% of ordinary people, I mean people like you and me, are not able to recognize the fakes. And I think I managed to trick you 100% during this afternoon. They also involved in this study experienced photographers, and 50% of them were not able to recognize the fakes. Think about the fact that they are experienced photographers, so they know more than we do. And unfortunately, so far, we don't have services for recognition. Yet there are some mistakes, and I want to share some of them with you. If you have a look at this innocent poster, we can notice that on the upper part, there are similar clouds. If you look very closely, you can see the similarities. I took this picture from Victoria's Secret, the famous shop, online, and that model is carrying an invisible handbag because she has no handbag. She has only part of the handle in her hand. Or on another side, I found this example, this model, and she has a leg problem. All these images are photoshopped. When it comes to pictures as the ones I showed you before, pictures of people who don't exist, we have to take a very close look. For instance, these are two of the pictures I took from the platform This Person Does Not Exist, and let's have a look at the pattern. In the picture with the child, there is a band pattern. If you look very closely, it's not as it should be. We also have to pay attention to the issues related to symmetry. For instance, the earrings. If you look at the earrings at that little girl, you can see they are not the same. Or if that person wears glasses, we also have to be extremely careful and see if they are in the right shape, on the right size, in the right position on the face or not. And we should also pay attention to the teeth. Also take into account the pixel, the hair. If there is a very unusual color, or if the hair has a special glow or anything. If it's too straight or too straight, it means something is not correct. Also, be careful at the background if there are distortions in shapes and lines. And I invite you all to have a look at the picture with the little girl, and somewhere here you can notice that the lines are not straight as they should be. We also have to look at the bright colors that stands out. If you look at the second picture, on the head of the woman there is a very bright color, and it simply catches our attention, and it means something is wrong with this picture, and also the glassy water splotches. And now I want to challenge everybody online and offline, and you have to try and guess which person is real. Should it be this girl or this girl? So you can write in the chat box or unmute yourselves, or people in the audience just tell me. Who do you think is real, A or B? A a lot, B.
We are afraid to answer.
I appreciate your honesty. A, okay, A. What about you? What do you think? A or B? A.
I think it's B. No, I think it's B. I don't know why. Maybe
A.
the background, I think.
Okay, good. The moment of truth, picture A, and most of you are right. Picture A is true. What made you opt for this image?
It's more natural.
It's more natural. But
Yes, and the background. I don't know. Yes.
What else?
And the wrinkles.
The wrinkles, right? And look at the teeth. They are normal. Okay, good. Ready for the next challenge? B. So I have B's from the room, from my colleagues. B.
I go for B too.
I have an A. B. Moment of truth. The girl, A. Look at her face, and she also has some wrinkles on the forehead. She may love her life, and she may love to look beautiful, and she is the real one. And the last challenge for you, this woman or this guy?
Definitely B because of the glasses.
B. B. Do you say B or A? B.
B.
And well, I want to congratulate all of you, online and offline, because after only 2 exercises you became experts. That's great. Maybe if I showed you the picture of John Miller now, you would not believe my story, which was simply created. Great. And a notorious example comes from Maisie Kingsley, who actually, if you look at that girl, if you look at her image, if you look at her name, actually this person does not exist. She's a fake journalist. She invented the name Maisie Kingsley. She actually appeared out of nowhere, and her desire was to contact short seller of Tesla stock. She said, I work for Bloomberg. She was very active on Twitter. She was very active on Instagram, and she also had a blog. And her intention was to tell data-driven stories about cars, cybersecurity, and web culture. This is the first example of the way in which a person who actually does not exist went even further, and a whole history was invented. Oh, I opened an app that I shouldn't have. Good. My question is if only pictures, only photos that we can find everywhere are affected or not. As a matter of fact, this phenomenon I'm trying to tell you a little bit about today is related to deep fake, which means deep learning to create fake events with the help of the artificial intelligence. For instance, I'm sure you found them, and there are all over the internet. Statements made by politicians, but actually they didn't make them. And here is a famous example. So simply connecting the internet to Abraham Lincoln is, but there are people who simply believe this is true because of the official name. Deepfake also means events that are false or events that are promoted but actually did not happen. And I chose for you an example that I found online last year. And please have a look at the number of people who expressed their intention of attending that event, and even more serious, the number of people who said they are interested in joining it. So, I've never been good at math, at figures, but for you, I can say there are 40,000 people who are tricked by the artificial intelligence. So this is an event that was fake and it was never meant to happen. We also have online videos, and you will see one very clear example to know exactly what I mean, and we'll discuss. First of all, please have a look at it, at that video, and after that we discuss a little bit about it.
America, you blame me for interfering with your democracy, but I don't have to. You are doing it to your steps. Polling stations are closing, you don't know who to trust, you are divided. There are strings we can pull, but we don't have to. You are pulling them for us.
So, before knowing what artificial intelligence can make to alter photographs and events and videos online, if you had seen, and please be as sincere as possible, if you had seen this video somewhere on television or online, would you have believed it's true or not? People in the audience here with me, or people online, if you want to share in the chat or unmute yourselves and share with us. What's your opinion about it? No what? So you wouldn't have believed this true?
I would.
Why? Why?
Why? Because.
To know why not?
Why not?
You, not because you are part of a program which deals with media literacy, and maybe you know. What about my colleagues? Would you have believed it's real? Legate de expresia facială, de faptul că era ceva forțat, dar poate la televizor, nu pe internet, dar la televizor, dacă îi vedeam, poate era tentată să... So one of my colleagues says that maybe, now for sure not, because she learned how to pay closer attention to some details, but before, let's say yesterday, if she saw it on TV or on the internet, maybe she'd have said it's real. As a matter of fact, artificial intelligence is used. What you saw on the screen is Putin's real image, so there's nothing fake, the background is real, and if you want to know how it's made, please Google it and you'll find clear examples about how they create such videos. His voice is real, the sound of his voice is real. It's very interesting. Okay, thank you for participating. Go away, please. Okay, on a more positive note, and I want to show you a very, very recent example. It happened in live entertainment in America's Got Talent last Tuesday, actually this week, this Tuesday, and you'll see what happened. I'll tell you nothing. We'll discuss after it. So this is what happened to the famous judge at America's Got Talent, Simon Cowell, who couldn't believe it was a fake video of him on the screen. And at least my colleagues here were very amused at his expression, because he was shocked at a given moment. He couldn't believe his eyes. Actually, he never sang a song like that. And he never recorded something similar. By the means of artificial intelligence, it happened right in front of my eyes. So we speak about deep fake, and it makes everything possible. Now, which are the consequences of deep fake? First of all, we can speak about the negative ones, and we have to be very, very careful, because if we use, for instance, artificial intelligence to imitate famous politicians or public figures to make them say what we want, then mayhem or damage can happen. Because if they are influencers, if they have a big influence on people, the supporters do something that can cause even chaos. There are also negatives, because the voice deep fakes, as you could hear previously, are becoming even more dangerous regarding corporate and government security. And what if we speak about a voice deep fake of a CEO or chairman of a company in an effective way to tool and take advantage of employees or business partners? And I prepared two very short examples for you. Last year, at the beginning of last year, the manager of a bank in Hong Kong authorized the transfer of $35 million after he received a request from a client said to be living in Dubai, because the voice and the email of the bank manager were fake, and the bank lost $35 million. And the second example is from 2019, when an insurance firm lost, one of his clients actually lost $243,000 to hackers, because by using artificial intelligence they managed to pose as the CEOs of another firm, and it meant losing plenty of money. You may not believe it, but the deep fake can also have positive consequences. One of them is to help patients who lose their voices because of cancer or ALS. They can have their voices back by the means of by the help of deepfake. And as a matter of fact, there is already an application which was developed by Rolls-Royce together with Intel and Microsoft. It's called Quips, and it builds a voice bank for these patients who can still speak now but will lose their voices in the future because of the diseases. This application, Quips, will help them have their voices even when they will no longer be able to talk. We can also have positive consequences in media production. For instance, if the actors are too busy on set, they can be replaced by, let's say, artificial intelligence and deepfakes, and maybe movies will be cheaper and we can access them more easily. What can we do? What are the solutions? First of all, we have to trust those sources which are said to be reliable. But there is a problem here. How do I know what source is reliable? Because defining them as trusted sources may be problematic. Another solution they are working on at the moment is to watermark all those images and all those videos which were taken with a camera, so to have a watermark on them and to know exactly that they are real. And we should also be alert and check the technology, the blockchain technology, to verify content for sources that are trusted. For instance, if I hear about a negative consequence of, for instance, related to health, I don't have to go to the web page of a newspaper or of a journalist, because the journalist, as you could see, could be fake. But I have to go to the Ministry of Health in my country, and they provide me with the real information. But not everything is lost, because there are developing tools which can detect now deep fakes, and their accuracy is 90%. In conclusion, deep fakes, what I exposed you to today, it's actually an issue we are not ready to face yet, because we don't know how to do it. Everybody knows that it will take time and effort, and maybe we need the governments in our country to teach us and to help us fight against it, but maybe we can do it sooner or later. And as a bonus, these are not deep fakes, but they are really present. And the 3 examples I picked for you are taken from my accounts, and I received them recently. And in a minute, you'll see what I mean. The first message I got was on WhatsApp. It's a promotion, maybe you got it as well. It's a promotion, so said, from one of our shops. Maybe you have them in your countries as well. When I got it, I decided not to share, but to delete it immediately, because the first thing I could see were the emojis. Because an expert, Krisa, I think the song from you comes to me now. You send it to me. So the moment we receive such a message, we have to look at the emojis. The more they are, the less professional the message is. The second thing I looked at was the link. It's not the official web page of this shop. And the last one, for the Romanian speakers, there are some mistakes in language. The second message I decided to share with you today. I saw it on Facebook not a very long time ago, and unfortunately it was shared by many teachers. They said that this web page, IMAG fans, IMAG is a very well-known and it's a very famous shop in Romania, and many people buy from it. It's a storage actually, and they said, this page said that they offer free laptops because they don't want to throw them away. The first thing that I did when I saw this message was to click on the link to see if they exist or not. So if this web page IMAG fans is for real or not. And the second one, I had a closer look at the language. Again, for the speakers of Romanian, you can see that there are some differences there, and we should pay very, very close attention to it and understand that a message is actually fake. And another example I took in from my email is from the famous FedEx, and I received it. Maybe if I check my email now, maybe I have 5 or 6 messages from them. First of all, without opening it, I look at the name. It's FedEx, the famous company, but I also have a look at the emojis. They will never have them next to their name. If I open it, and I did it for you, just to exemplify a little bit more clearly. So when I had a look here, I was also shocked by the emojis, and also have a look at the account from where it was sent. If it's an official and it's sent from FedEx, it should end in fedex.com or org, not in umbc.edu, because it says nothing to me. Just for you, I decided to click on it, and this message opened to me. Remember the famous company, maybe is number one in their field. If at the beginning of the message in the subject they had my name, even it was not spelled correctly because it had a double N, when I clicked on the message in my email account, I could see only dear, where is my name? And the second one, and now for all of you who understand English, there is a language mistake, because correctly would have been we were not able to deliver. And if you click there, click here to continue, if I try to do it, my antivirus does not allow me to, but if your computers or phones are not protected, maybe your email account will be virus as well. So, because the storm is getting close and it's Friday afternoon, and maybe you're tired and you're eager to start your weekend, I want to end with my ultimate inspiration. I consider this man somebody who taught me indirectly, and his motto, stay hungry, stay foolish, followed me for years on end, and I still take into account his words. I would add for you today, stay hungry, stay foolish, and stay alert. I want to thank you all for your attention. If you have any questions, you can send me an email to the address you can see there. You can find me and befriend me on Facebook. I use my real name, and I am quite active, let's say, on Facebook. Or you can also contact me on Twitter. I'm active there as well. Thank you very much.